So what's happening down there? It's got
Yeah, nothing much, just trying to embrace the boredom, I guess. Lots of trying to figure out stuff to do, lots of iRacing, I got a slot car track back out like from my attic, so that's been fun.
yeah,
But
nice.
looking out and trying to stay sharp. How's it going on up there, man?
Yeah, it's good. It's again, it's quiet. We live pretty rurally, so we're actually pretty well suited for something like this because I've got like the stuff at home for the gym, and we're like pretty self sufficient out in the country. So the only thing that's bad is that we don't have good internet. So like our internet
Ah,
is all cell based, and so in trying to download a sim, and the kids want to watch stuff, and we want to watch movies, so we're getting roasted on data. We only get like 100 gigs a month, so
dang.
it's
Are y'all
brutal.
still getting snow up there?
We got snow the last couple of days. Yeah, it's about what 40 degrees today, but last night it was in the 20s, so it's been weird. It's typical spring. It's like one day it's a t-shirt, the next day it's a snowsuit. So that's the way it goes until like mid-May, really. Like it just drags on, but no
Wow.
complaints. We're I've been out, ripping around the Ace and just generally doing stuff around the property. So it's
That's nice.
yeah. So yeah, we guess we got a bunch of questions. So all our fans are probably wondering what's going on and what's happening, and the racing scene, and just watching a little the iRacing race last night at Laguna that IMSA had. It's pretty crazy with the commentating, like how well that works.
Yeah, it's like almost watching the real deal.
Yeah, like it's kind of like the real deal, but it's not, and it's like a totally different skill set.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't know about you, but I guess I'll jump in. With what's going on in the world right now, and all this sim time. Like, how are you finding that? You spend a lot of time on the sim, and just kind of adapting to that way of driving, and like, what do you think of that whole thing?
Yeah, I think it's a really accurate tool in a sense. If you personally feel that way, you can really utilize it. There's specific characteristics about all those different games that like really apply to real life and stuff. But and then on the other hand, at the end of the day, it's not real life, and it's kind of a different mindset when you strap into the real car and you actually start the engine up for real and everything. And I just try to personally kind of keep it a little more fun and loose. Like I tend to run like legend cars and like trucks and stuff, like NASCAR stuff for fun, just to, like kind of remind me sometimes like this isn't real, but it's also really fun to go and compete with the big dogs and the IMSA stuff and really treat it like real.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then what sim package are you running? Like, what do you have for a sim?
So Dan Clark built mine for me. He builds them out of South Carolina, and I'm not totally sure exactly what motor it's even called. I was told it's out of a sewing engine from Ukraine or something. He's real tricky and crafty. It's a kind of a full custom thing. I'll have to kind of look at it. Maybe I can find some off-brand stuff, but it's pretty pieced together.
Nice. Yeah, I find with like the sim stuff, it's really helpful, but it's definitely different, and it's a different skill set in terms of like how you have to drive the car than I find in real life, and you're down a bunch of senses, right? Like, I mean, my sim personally, it's got a good Sparko race seat, but it doesn't have any of the motion stuff, so I find it really hard to get a good feel of what's going on, and so you're pushing it, you feel the pedals don't feel quite the same, the steering's not giving you the same feedback. It's like there's a lot of really great stuff about it. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah.
But then you get in their car, you start it up, and you feel a vibration, and you head out. You just have everything you need. All the tools are there. But it's great. I try to keep it nice, like you say, like just loose and fun. I mean,
Yes.
I couldn't believe at Super Sebring race that IMSA ran on iRacing. Like, I don't know. I crashed on the inside wall of one, and I think I blame my my graphics card or my shoddy internet. It's just it's just crazy.
A lot more variables, yeah.
A lot
It's
more
good fun, though.
It is, yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, I guess with all these crazy things happening, unprecedented times, and that everybody's well, like family's good.
Yeah, definitely, man. We're still open. We're essential. We do a lot of work with our local police departments. So my dad's able to go up to work every day. We're still floating, you know, but it's definitely weird energy around here. I'm just trying to kind of keep my head on straight, you know.
Yeah, a lot of time at home, and then when you go out, it's like kind of like an eerie sense, and you know, even like
Yeah.
you get groceries or just I don't know, just being around people, and I think all that uncertainty, you know, no one really knows, and everyone's super cautious with all the social distancing stuff. It's definitely different. Looking
Yeah.
forward to getting past it, that's for sure. But
So I got some other kind of questions, take us off
sure.
topic a little bit. I know you were very experienced in the past and everything. I was just wondering what it's like to be a part of all the old school prototypes that you were able to drive back in the day. What was it like actually driving that caliber of a race car?
Yeah, it's so yeah, prototypes. I mean, it's crazy how fast the time goes. But thinking back to my first Daytona prototype race would have been at Daytona in I think it was July of 2006. And those are crazy cars. I always say they're like analog cars. They're just like big powers, like 500 horsepower. You know, but very raw, like no TC. You know, just no aids. So you go out and you just drive it, and it was, you know, depending on the tire we ran, and we ran the Hoosier for a while, we ran Continental, we ran Pirelli, really changed the dynamic of the car quite a bit. But the old school stuff was awesome. I mean, it was like real wheel to wheel, like bang door banging type stuff. The cars were built super strong in certain areas, like the side pods were super strong, but the nose and the tail weren't. So it's like you could race hard side to side, but you know, not so much maybe front to back. But no, the fields were awesome. I mean, remember when it was the Grand Am Series and NASCAR bought them, and you know that was really cool. We got to race at you know, the Glen on NASCAR weekend. We raced at Daytona in the summer with NASCAR, and so we got to really experience like the NASCAR fans, and kind of we'd race at night, like on the Friday, and then they would run all weekend, and it was cool. I mean, that atmosphere and you know the environment was just so elevated all the time, and you know we had like 20 plus cars, so it was good. And then of course GT cars out there too, so it was, you know, that mixed class racing craziness, you know, Rolex 24 long races, that sort of thing, and I really enjoyed that time. It taught me a lot about how to manage a car that was pretty hairy to drive at times.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it's cool to be a part of that like era and everything. You know, I remember
Yeah.
growing up. Literally, I saw you at Daytona when I was like, don't even remember what year, but I was like maybe 10 years old or something. My first 24, the gold and black one coming on the back straightaway thing is just cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talk about your start. Like, did a bunch of karting. I think I saw a picture at one point of you karting at Daytona.
Yeah, that was
Talk
some
about
crazy.
that.
That was maybe by far the sketchiest thing I've ever done in my life. For 2 years, during Christmas break or so, the WKA National Road Racing Championships would go down at Daytona, and it was the same track we run, except they would take the bus stop out because it's just kind of dangerous anyway, especially in a go-kart. You don't want to, I don't know, you T-bone somebody going that fast. I don't know, it'd be bad. So no bus stop, but I managed to win the national championship in the shifter class one year, and then the other year I got in the Rotax, like the tag open class, which is pretty cool. But that was like insanity, man.
So how fast were you going? Like, what were the kind of speeds there on the bank?
So we were doing 119 miles an hour in the shifter.
Oh wow, that's crazy!
And then
Right on the ground.
a little bit more, yeah.
Wow.
But it was just all a draft game. I remember because it was the first year they had like a race, like a 2-race weekend, like Saturday race, Sunday race.
Yeah.
And on Saturday, me and my cousin left everybody, but we were bump drafting illegally. They caught us, unfortunately,
Oh, no.
but that was fun.
Uh,
Cool.
so how did so the karting days led to some stuff racing you did over in Europe, right? Or how did that, talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so basically, I really started off, my first like race car ever was a junior dragster. I did 2 different weekends way back when I was a little kid with my friend or whatever. But we had some go-karts that I was also interested in, and quite frankly, a little bit faster than the dragster, which is kind of interesting. But started doing that, and then I decided to take it serious. You know, I quit baseball, and like one of the summers I moved up to Norman, Oklahoma, and worked with this guy Rodney Berryhill at Champion Racing. Lived with him basically for a couple of summers, but on the last like year of karting, we went over to Italy to do the World Championships, and did a couple of weekends of testing, and like the whole month is basically the race, and that was like a huge like learning curve, like level up moment in my life, pretty much. But shortly after that, we went into the GT4 with Parker and the Janetta stuff. That was really fun. That car is feel really like the splitter's made out of oak wood. Like it's just a real simple but fast car. And it has a really, like, it doesn't have crazy advantages. You know, you really have to drive the heck out of it to make the pace, and learned a lot doing that as well. But with Janetta, we ended up doing a half season of British GT and GT3, which was another huge learning curve, different car, real aero and everything. Got to run at Rockingham Motor Speedway. That's pretty cool. Glad I was able to do that, you know, the trial or whatever. It was pretty cool. But yeah, did quite a little bit of racing in Europe, not a whole bunch. Not sure as much as Michael maybe, but learned a lot while I could over there. You know, every time I get to race over there, you just learn so much.
Yeah,